How do you feel while you see these photos? Do they look ordinary to you? How about these video clips? How do you feel about them?
The subjectivity of defining peace cannot be underscored enough. As a term, it pertains to a very simple idea that has been so cliched in countless beauty pageants, campaign slogans, song lyrics, and diplomatic endeavors that people nowadays simply tend to look over the matter. Let me quote some famous people. There's no trust more sacred than the one the world holds with children. There's no duty more important than ensuring that their rights are respected, that their welfare is protected, that their lives are free from fear and want, and that they grow up in peace. It's Coffee and Nod. Peace is not merely the absence of war, the presence of justice, of law, of order, in short, of government. Albert Einstein. How do experts define peace? It's a state with an absence of war or violence. It's also a relationship between two characters, which has a harmonious, dynamic, active, fragile, and constructive process. It's achieved by continuous control and proper education for all individuals to uphold order. There are two types of peace. The first type is called the imposed peace, where domination, power, imposition, and enforcement of peace are implemented to maintain order. With imposed peace, it can result in a structured form of oppression and a long-term reinforcement. It can be achieved through domination by powerful parties or peacekeeping organizations. Moreover, it doesn't resolve underlying grievances or establish a positive long-term relationship. Second type of peace is called consensual peace. Unlike imposed peace, consensual peace directs to reaching a binding agreement that ends violence and hostilities, and all parties enjoy legitimate, just, and beneficial outcomes. It is also establishing a mutual understanding, goal, and identity to justly distribute one's resources for the benefit of all institutions. It leads to structural liberty in long term, since it promotes equality, justice, and well-being of all parties. To add, consensual peace has two levels. First level is peacemaking, where both parties actively negotiate and draft initial agreements to resolve present and future conflicts. Second level is peace building, where institutions are obliged to create a long-term peace, positive, and harmonious relationship based on mutual respect and social justice. What is peace education? It is about instilling essential information, attitudes, values, and behavioral competencies to resolve conflicts non-violently. The aim is to teach learners how to strengthen and sustain mutually beneficial and harmonious relationships. The effectiveness and sustainability of peace education depend on the practical practice of theories in real life and researches.
Achieving and maintaining intrapersonal, interpersonal, intergroup, and international peace is the ultimate goal of peace education. 3 interrelated theories of peace education. Social interdependence theory underlies the development of cooperative relationships Constructive controversy theory focuses on effective political discourse, creative problem solving, and decision making on difficult issues. Integrative negotiations theory focuses on resolving conflicts to maximize joint gain.
Social interdependence theory. It deals with the nature of cooperation and competition. The theory states that in creating and maintaining consensual peace, the outcome depends on the participation of all the members. The nature of cooperation is highlighted by the positive interdependence, whereas the nature of competition is emphasized by the negative interdependence. Positive interdependence is the belief that success is achieved through collective effort. The premise is that all members must work as a group to achieve consensual peace. Unlike negative interdependence, which is about achieving peace through competition, members who work cooperatively can capitalize on each other's knowledge, resources, and skills, thereby is seen more successful in attaining outcomes. Its effects on the psychological processes are substitutability, inducibility, and positive catexis. On the other hand, negative interdependence is the belief that success can be achieved through competition. In this belief, the idea of losers and winners is integral in peace building since success is viewed to be achievable at the cost of the others. An important part of negative interdependence is for the individuals to be competitive, exercise dominance over the other party in pursuit of peace. Unlike positive interdependence, its effects on psychological processes are non-substitutability, non-inducibility, and negative catexis. No interdependence arises when individuals believe that they can reach their goals on their own. In this belief, peace can be achieved through personal accountability and independence. No interdependence promotes detachment from others. Hence, its effects in the psychological processes of the individual are substitutability, no inducibility or resistance, and catexis only to one's own action.
Constructive controversy theory focuses on the interrelation of political discourse and creative problem solving. This theory discusses how two opposing positions can come hand in hand in formulating effective solutions to societal problems. Constructive controversy can always result to both positive and negative outcomes, depending on the way it is managed by the opposing sides. Individuals who would present their ideas and conclusions should be firm with their proposals, but nevertheless, they should still be willing to listen to other perspectives and should be able to understand and accommodate other views that might help in resolving the matter presented, even when conflict arises. Negative outcomes happen when destructive facts and opinions make their way through the political discussion. This could result in more confusion and misunderstanding on the issue. Opposing positions might not always find a way to be resolved, but one important part in this process is the bond that will help stitch the individuals together, and thus promoting and maintaining consensual peace within the society.
Integrative negotiations theory focuses on reaching agreements that maximize the benefits of all parties involved. In general, negotiation is a process by which people who have shared and opposed interests express desire to come to an agreement and work out a settlement. Negotiation can be distributive or integrative. Although peacemaking can involve distributive negotiation, where the agreement goal is more beneficial to a party compared to other negotiators, building consensual peace requires integrative negotiation, where conflicts are constructively resolved in a cooperative context, instead of contexts that are competitive and individualistic. Teaching students to be peacemakers program. Students who are trained on integrative negotiation and mediation procedures use more constructive strategies, and has a more positive attitude towards resolving conflict, which helps decrease the number of discipline problems that teachers and school administrators need to deal with. Students involved in the program learn how to engage in integrative negotiations with the following steps. First is describing what you want, using good communication skills, defining the conflict as a small and specific mutual problem. Second, describing how you feel, understanding how they feel, communicating how they feel openly and clearly. Third, describing the reasons for your wants and feelings, expressing cooperative intentions, listening carefully, separating interests from positions, and differentiating before trying to integrate the two sets of interests. Fourth is taking the other's perspective, understanding the perspective of the opposing disputant, being able to see the problem from both perspectives simultaneously. Fifth, inventing 3 optional plans to resolve the conflict that maximize joint benefits, inventing creative options to solve the problem. And lastly, choosing one and formalizing the agreement with a handshake. A wise agreement maximizes joint benefits and strengthens disputants' ability to work together cooperatively and to resolve conflicts constructively in the future.
Here is our conclusion and recommendations. Peace is not an easy idea to define, and different theories serve as a framework for peace education. Peace could mean differently to different people. It could take different routes in different contexts. However, whatever perspectives or route one takes in the discourse of peace, one thing cannot be denied, that it is predicated by conflicts that provide greater reason for the continuous pursuit for peace to be more necessary. Conflicts are continuing reality of our time. To avoid, suppress, or deny its existence is not the way to keep the peace. Rather, dealing with conflicts as they happen and resolving them in a constructive and creative ways. Johnson & Johnson, 2010. This effort to learn how to deal with conflicts can best begin in shaping the minds of the young. The shaping of the mind towards mutual respect, tolerance, and understanding should be the aim of all peace education. For the mind is the place where conflicts all begin. It is in the mind where peace can truly see its beginning. It is in the mind that tolerance, suspicion, and mistrust that led to denial of dignity and mutual respect for men, justice and liberty that bred violent wars. The lack of understanding caused by ignorance had plunged the world into horrifying 2 world wars. The greed for power that almost annihilated human species. All of this had been conceived in the mind of men. In all the discussions regarding peace and peace education, the number of literatures available on this discourse are still not enough to come up with the all-encompassing definition of peace that will truly express all the perspectives in one single definition. This will continue to be so. As the context of the discourse of peace continues to change, research that will further the knowledge and understanding about peace should be done that will further enrich the development of peace education.
Theories of Peace Education. This has been a virtual presentation of Group A members of EDS 140.